What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Real Talk Podcast. What's up?
Hey.
What's happening? We back.
Back down. Go. What's up?
What's to it? How you feeling?
I'm feeling feng shui. Feeling amped up, ready to go.
That's all?
A lot of stuff happening, baby.
Well, let me know what's happening.
Well,
Shit, let me know.
I'm going to let you know some new stuff pretty soon. First of all, how was your weekend?
I mean, it was good. I'm always vibing Friday at Slush. I got some new things coming up. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute, though. Other than that, it's always good, man. How was your weekend?
It was interesting.
Oh, okay.
Very interesting. Some good stuff happening around these pots. So.
Oh, don't get nervous. Sound like you choking up.
No.
Don't get nervous.
My phone dying out.
No. Don't get nervous now. Yeah, we don't need him to get nervous now. He's so busy to talk and run his mouth. Now he get on live and can't
I'm
say
ready.
Nothing. I hope you're ready.
Always ready. So we have a special guest in the house today.
Yes, we do.
Hey.
Thank you.
I am Jessica Trevino. Hi, everyone.
All right.
Jessica Trevino, right?
Trevino.
Say it one more time.
Trevino. Shout out to her and her time, because, hey, it always takes time, and she made time to come on the podcast, so we always want to say thank you for that.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor. Thank you.
We appreciate you.
So people at home, could you please share? And if you don't have Facebook, we are on YouTube, and it is the Real Talk Podcast LC all together. Is that correct?
It sounds correct to me. Yes, it does.
Also, in other news today, well, I'll get to that later. We'll get to the other news later on. So we're going to get right into it.
I told you he nervous as hell over here, y'all. He over here.
What made you nervous?
He over here.
You don't make me nervous.
I got him nervous. That's all. And shout out to everybody watching too, man. Even I thought I got rid of some of these people on here, but I guess they still on here. But it's all good. But yeah,
So-
go ahead.
So we're going to get right into it. Could you please tell me about yourself? Let's get right into it.
Well, a lot of people do not know that I actually was born in Mexico. And
Make some noise for that.
Yeah. I just actually came back from a vacation from where I was born. So I was born in Durango, Mexico. And my parents, I like to joke around and say my parents smuggled me into the United States when I was 3. It's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's just a joke, y'all.
And
They'll be trying to report you tomorrow.
I know,
careful.
right? And I've lived in the Waukegan, North Chicago area basically all my life since we got here. I did grow up in North Chicago, so I am a Warhawk. Yes.
Okay.
And
my lady a Warhawk, so shout out to the Warhawks.
yes. I went to Neal, I went to Novak, went to North Chicago High School, and graduated from North Chicago in 2004. So shout out to my class of 04.
04? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, though.
North Chicago.
She said Warhawks, though. Shout out to the Warhawks.
North Chicago. Yes. I'm just. If it ain't a Bulldog, it's North Chicago. I'm trying to tell you.
Well, he a ZB and didn't even go to Zion, so I don't even know how that worked.
Got my license.
So he been
You got your license there?
so he been pretty much faking it all his life. He's still faking it now, but we gonna get into that in a minute.
You're a Bulldog?
Yes, I am.
So the next question I just want to kick this off with was can I ask where? So you did grow up, you said, in Mexico. So we went from there to.
No, she grew up in Waukegan, North Chicago.
Yes, I've been in the States when I was 3.
She got smuggled in at 3. Did you hear what she just said? She got smuggled in at 3.
Did we?
And grew up in Waukegan, North Chicago, but she went to North Chicago High School, where she's a Warhawk. You got to pay attention. I hope I ain't making you nervous, man.
No, you ain't making me nervous. No,
after we get to
I'm a
talking,
ZB.
but after we get to talking, we're going to get into it.
I'm a ZB.
Shout out to Fito. He a Warhawk too. Shout out to my boy
Hey.
DJ Fito.
All
man.
these Warhawks.
Hi, Fito.
Where the Zion people at, man? Will y'all check in, please?
Shout out to Feet though, man. He a good dude, man. I rock with him.
Definitely.
Yeah, he ain't never X me out or nothing like that. Shout out to Feet though.
Here we go.
Shout out to my boy Feet though, man.
So let's get right into it. What is it that your business provides?
So my partner and I have an insurance agency in the city of North Chicago. It's called Ortega Insurance Agency, and we do sell farmers products. We sell basically or offer basically everything except medical. So we're specializing in auto and homeowners, renters, business, commercial, and life insurance products.
So that's a good thing, and I actually need some insurance coming up in January.
Oh, okay.
But I did not notice you know that it was even an insurance company in North Chicago.
You know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that we are the only agency in North Chicago.
That's a good thing. Paul, who's your insurance with?
Currently out of state, y'all. I used to be with Blue Cross Blue Shield, but yeah, it happens.
It
No,
does.
I mean,
And I don't have no life insurance.
So people that's in the Waukegan, North Chicago area, please look up. What's the name of the business again?
Ortega Insurance Agency, and we're located right off of Martin Luther King in North Chicago.
So that's 22nd, in case people want to act like they don't, they ain't from North Chicago. That's 22nd Street. I need to go over there and check you guys out
Yes, you
because,
should.
no, I got to because I'm always on 22nd for lunch break. But if you're in the North Chicago area, please support, man. We got to support. Support is everything. Everybody think they got to run over here way to Gurnee to pay insurance. No, go right to North Chicago. Support.
And you know, that's actually our whole was our whole plan. We wanted to stay in North Chicago because, as we all know, a lot of the times we have to outsource or go to other cities to do anything fun with the family or any business. So we wanted to, like the people in the North Chicago community and surrounding communities, to be able to go into North Chicago and not having to, like you said, drive to Waukegan and Gurnee. So that was our main thing. And then my partner, she resides in North Chicago. And again, I come from North Chicago roots, so
you believed in your in your city.
Yes,
that's a good thing because most people try to go outside the city when you can go right in your city, and she's the only one. So I think that's a plus. You got liquor stores everywhere; they got options. You got gas station everywhere; they got options. Restaurants everywhere; they got options. Insurance, you only got one option in North Chicago. Make sure y'all support, please. You got another question, Paul?
One other thing. For the longest, I've been wondering what maybe some people at home too. What makes the life insurance important though? Just out of
let me ask you something. What's the most valuable, most important thing for you, to you?
family.
Oh, you asking me too?
Yeah, you too.
Oh yeah, definitely the family number one.
Family.
I'm gonna put family in, and then God number one, family, money.
Okay. And my next question is, how come we're so fast to insure our phones? How come we're so fast to insure our cars and insure our homes, but we don't insure our lives?
You just fucked me up. I'm sorry. She just messed me all the way up with that one.
It depends. So a lot of people don't know about that. How important life insurance is. Till something happens, and then they got to go ahead and do whatever they can to make things happen. If something happens, life insurance is important. But a lot of people's jobs have life insurance. But if you don't have it for your job, you can go straight to her and get it. But life insurance is important. Do I have it on me? I don't know. But I know. No, I'm serious. I ain't being funny right now. But I know my dad definitely has it on me. And if something happened, I know I'll be able to get buried at least, and somebody get at least $500. I don't know. 500?
She just messed me up though. I mean, that's something I never even thought about. The way she said it.
You never think.
Yeah, I probably never do.
No. You never think. I'm gonna tell you that now on live. He never thinks.
I probably never do, but
he never thinks.
I didn't think about that, especially with the way Jessica asked you that. She was like, "We insure our cars,
We insure our
phone, and I ain't even got no comeback for it.
You got something on your lip too.
Okay.
I should have left that shit on there. I should have left that shit on there.
Hey,
Hey, but no, I'm serious though. Real talk for a minute. Like you say, people gonna make sure you get that new iPhone. I don't care if the insurance is $30 a month, whatever. You gonna pay it. I mean, it's only $15, but if it was $30, you guys gonna pay it. Cars. A lot of y'all don't have insurance on your cars. That's why y'all, you know what I mean? I used to do that. Get the car and just ride around. But now, as soon as the police pull up on you, they know if your plates has insurance now. So you got to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
But we put insurance on every little thing, man, and except our life. And I think a lot of people need to start thinking about the future. The future is the life. And even like your kids need life insurance in case something happens.
We all have an expiration date. We just don't know when it's going to be, right? And I believe, not just because I work I have a story actually on life insurance, that it's important to have, obviously, but it's our responsibility as we become adults that we don't leave our families stranded. Because why wait until something happens, to make us think that we actually need this? We don't know how we're going to leave our relatives behind, not only emotionally, with the loss, especially if it's something so sudden, but just that financial burden. And you stated that, we pay insurance on our phones, like maybe $30 a month, right? You can get life insurance for cheaper than that. Like, people don't realize that there's so many type of insurance policies that you can take advantage of, and some are very inexpensive that you can afford.
So, not to cut you off, but when I did my quote on insurance, life insurance, it seemed like the insurance plan might be cheap. Say like if I had 10 years paying into it and I done got 10,000 into it, I'm just throwing numbers out there. Mm-hmm. And I done missed 3 months because I done got sick or something. I couldn't do it, financially unstable. They say you lose all that money because you didn't agree to the. Well, you didn't agree to the
terms and conditions.
Yeah, terms and conditions.
It depends on
Contracts.
the type of policy that you have. There's different types. There's term policies and then there's permanent policies. The term policies, they lock you in at a rate for, let's just say, if you choose to do 10, 20, or 30 years, and you pay a fixed rate for every month or every year thereafter until, the term of the policy expires. You don't get your money back or anything like that. If you outlive the term, then you lose all that money. Those are the most inexpensive ones, for people if they're trying to look for like a big premium or benefit, should I say, at a lower premium. Now, the permanent insurance policies, those are the ones that are a little bit more costly. There's a whole in the universal, and then it's tied into like the S&P, and you can have your money grow.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. That's why I'm just saying from my own experience. And I'm like, damn, why would I do that? What if something happened? I can't pay it. You mean to tell me I got 15, 20 grand invested and now I lose my money?
But,
that ain't.
If it's that important, I'll ask somebody for money. Hey, can you lend me like $50 so I can pay my insurance policy?
So I figure how much it costs to bury yourself nowadays for a whole, I almost said wedding, Lord forgive me, funeral. You figure costs, burial, everything is how much?
Well, right now, just at a basic, I believe minimum is like $15,000. And if you're trying to do something more, I guess, extravagant, it's going to cost a little bit more. The last funeral that I knew about was when my grandparents passed away, and we took them to Mexico. Just to fly them out was almost $10,000 plus whatever, was held here and then what was held in Mexico. So you want to have a decent amount for a decent, burial and funeral and all of that. And then obviously whatever you're going to leave behind for your debt and your family.
So that's how I looked at it. Mm-hmm. Like if I was to die right now, I know I'm okay. I can get buried. I don't want nobody to do a GoFundMe and DJ Gold. We're going to do a party for him and raise money. I don't want that. Let me work hard, save my own hard working money. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm okay. I bury myself, I'm okay. Make sure the kids are straight and all that. I agree, but I just be more scared to invest my money. It's more like investment, and if you don't pay, they just take your whole investment. That's all I got the picture of, and I just would never invest in life insurance. But my dad did it on me, and my kid's mother have it on my kids. So that's how I'm working right now.
Okay.
So if I heard you correctly, you said like $50 a month. So let's say I wanted to transfer.
You can't go by that now.
No, for everyone is. I mean, there's so many factors that go into.
You got to remember, he fat. No, I'm serious. You got.
Weight is a factor.
Yeah, I know.
Weight
Here we
is
go.
a factor.
Trust me,
yes,
I've been doing my
yes,
homework on
yes.
this for years. You fat, you don't do no exercise, you high risk to them. So they figure like, okay, I'm not finna just take your money and then I'm gonna have to give out more money. You're not, you know what I mean? You're like a liability to them.
A risk. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
man,
would
I
be
did my
considered.
homework on this,
There's
man.
risks. Obviously, people who have any underlying conditions, their premium's going to be higher.
Ooh, you know yours to the ceiling.
Even though I'm not a smoker?
Smokers get a higher premium. Yeah, they're put into another higher risk category. So you're gonna end up paying.
Well,
a
I
little
don't
bit
smoke
more.
no more, Paul.
So if it's cigarettes, that's what I'm talking about. Cigarettes,
Cigarettes.
So
yes.
of course
Well,
that's all.
now if you're talking about like other kind of.
So I'm not a diabetic or
substance-
none of that, even though I'm big and plumpy. Yeah, even though I'm big and plumpy, I ain't no diabetic out there,
Don't-
though. I'm
don't
good.
avoid the-
blood good, all that good for right now, though.
Just tell him, but I'm just telling him how I was.
If
told.
I came in right now,
She came.
If I came in.
I called them and they told me on the phone this. You
Okay.
big, like
So your age matters, your gender matters, the type of hobbies and activities that you like to do that matter. I mean, if you're somebody that goes parachuting and stuff like that, you're considered higher risk,
Real high
right? Yes. Your driving record, believe it or not,
What?
that
come on
yes.
now, just hold up.
I don't
hold
make.
up.
I don't
Hey.
make the
Hold up, we
rules.
talking about now. Look, is you with Allstate or what? Because right now, State Farm and all that. You
hey,
sitting here talking about
hey,
me
I'm-
just driving?
I'm like Fito though. You ain't got no insurance on your motherfucking car right now.
Yes, I do.
You do?
On all of them.
Okay.
That's
Fito
one
said
thing.
he doesn't have insurance.
Fito
No,
got it.
Fito
He
got.
got- he
yeah,
definitely
he
got
got
it.
insurance on that.
Definitely got it.
on that Cadillac.
He got it on everything. I
He
know he
definitely
do.
got on that Cadillac.
Please share. Please share. Don't be scared of them stars, y'all. We need them. But anyway, we're going to get back into it.
Irene said, "You go, girl."
Hi, Sparkles.
That's her-
Sparkles.
what? Sparkles.
Sparkles.
Hey, Sparkles.
That's
shout
good.
out to Sparkles watching. Shout out to Sparkles watching.
Now,
Yeah, get that light right on me.
like,
Shout out
you know
to
what? You-
shout out to RF39 Productions
That's
too.
right.
man.
That's right.
Shout out to him.
But you know what? That just kind of messed my head up too. Another one. You said my driving record.
Yes.
People at home pay attention. So if somebody suspended and all this other DUIs and all that
Yes.
is going against your life insurance.
That means like you're risky.
yeah, that's
You
what I'm
live
saying.
you live
Paul.
life on the
Paul-
wild side.
Paul, you just don't know, man. I'm telling you, it's some strict rules to that. You just can't just go in there and say, "Hey, I'm finna put life insurance on me." Boom, here go this and that. It don't work like that.
Well, guess
you
me.
finna go to the hospital, doctor. You gotta do all that.
Oh, so you got to go through that whole physical.
It
Before I
depends
get
on
the insurance?
It depends on the company. So some companies do require medical exam depending on the amount of benefit that you want in return. I mean, if you're looking for $1 million, they want to make sure that you're good, health is good, and according to what the analysis come back, they either do like a blood work or urine test, and whatever they find, that's what they sell to you.
Once again, Paul never thinks, so you gotta excuse him. Paul just does things. I try to keep it clean sometimes. He just does things, and but yeah, Paul,
So look,
I'm being real with you. You gotta
start thinking.
Yeah, start thinking. But it's definitely
I'm here to
some-
make you think.
It's definitely some strict things to that. You know what I mean?
So check this out, DJ Go and Jess. When we worked at Grease Monkey, they didn't ask us all this. It was like $150 a month when you work for a corporate company.
You mean like employee life insurance?
Pretty much.
They don't, unless you request more in coverage. Then they will ask you to do blood work.
So if I called you, say I called your office, and I say, hey, Jess, I want to put some, I was thinking, I sat here and talked with you. I want to put some, you're going to make me go get depending, like you said.
Depending on the carrier, because
You need to. How would
So-
they know?
Some let me tell you, a lot of companies work with the AI systems now. So a lot of these carriers now, you basically go on
Listen
a
up,
website.
y'all.
Yes,
Log
go
right
on a
into the
website.
system.
Listen.
And you enter all of your information. So with your name, your address, your date of birth, your social security number. Like, I know this because I did this for myself. Put all that in there.
Tell it all.
Yes.
She did her research. Go ahead.
And it basically pulls up anything that has been tied to your name and your social. So you've been to the hospital and they've prescribed you like X amount of, medicines or prescriptions. They'll ask you, the system will ask you questions. And if you're like, okay, no, I forgot or whatever,
Right.
and you select no, it's going to ask you another question in a different way until like you basically remember, because it's all in the system. So there's policies that you can get as simple as that in less than like 10 minutes, and they'll deny you, or it'll tell you we can take you at this amount.
But just the fact of you, Paul, don't ever think $1 million policy. Because just hear me out. You would have to spend, you got to figure, what would you spend, what kind of money would you spend a month to make $1 million policy? They just ain't going to have you just invest $100,000 and just give you $1 million. It don't work like that. You see what I'm saying? I'm just trying to tell Paul, like.
Well, it does. I mean, he can get, for example, a term policy. Let's just say you get a policy for $250K.
Okay.
Right? That's enough to a decent, burial, perhaps pay whatever is left on your mortgage, if you have a mortgage, if you have kids, enough to put them through college, whatever the case may be, right? Or pay off your debt. And then you can select, you want that term policy to be for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. There's even policies that go up to 30 years, and you're going to pay,
Ooh, you got 30 in you?
let's say $800 a year, right?
I hope you do, though.
Yes, or like
I hope you do.
$30 a month. It's going to be the same premium until that term is up. But once that term, either 15 or 30 years, and you outlive it, and you want to continue with the policy, then you're going to see the rates go like up the roof.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So that just taught me something. Okay, well, I know I'm calling in the morning then. I'm definitely calling in the morning. Because right now, my stuff is good.
What's
right now.
What's good? Tell me.
Just big.
With your work.
I'm just,
Man.
yeah, because I
Yo,
never really
artery.
been in the hospital. I never been, thank God.
Yeah.
I never been in a hospital. None of that stuff. Dentist problems, that's about it.
Man,
Yeah.
you eat, though. You got eating habits. You got bad eating habits.
All of that.
You do not work out.
But
You
guess
don't-
what?
Listen, you don't work out. You don't
I can
exercise.
still play basketball.
Look at this
Still-
shit here.
See, I just hit one.
You making him
Look at-
nervous.
I told you. Now
He said, no, I can
look
still play
at it.
basketball.
That's just sad. That's just sad. Hey, you see this RF39 Productions?
Get your phone.
This is it's getting my phone. Now it's rolling over here by my phone.
Oh,
Look at this
boy.
guy here.
I can still play
See,
basketball.
you got to do better, Paul. This is the shit I be talking about. I don't mean to cut y'all. While we cleaning up this mess, we gonna talk about a couple things, everybody.
So, yeah,
No. While we cleaning up this mess, I'm gonna ask a couple things. So your partner, right?
Yes.
You and your partner is very good, right? Okay, far as like everything's on point. Ain't nobody doing nothing shady. Ain't nobody taking no money. Ain't nobody doing nothing like that, right?
No,
All right.
no.
Good partner. Okay, just say like one day you felt like, how I'm gonna put this, Paul? Just say one day you say, or your buddy, because you just say you came up with the Ortega name. That's the name of it.
No, well, my partner, her name is Maribel Ortega. So the agency, she's the primary. The agency is named after her, Ortega Insurance Agency. So
Okay.
shout out to her.
Okay, shout out to her. I'm just using an example while Paul's cleaning up everybody, So just say like, if she just one day just say, hey, I'm finna just up and leave, and I'm finna go find somebody else and open up another place and name it Ortega Insurance. How would you feel about that? I'm just curious out of professional point of view. That's all I want to No.
You know
It's a
what?
professional.
Maribel and I have known each other since 2005.
Ooh, longer.
Yes.
We've known each other longer.
Yeah,
Okay,
so,
okay.
So about 20 years, going on 20 years now,
All right.
and this woman has been an incredible
Ooh. What's her
sister,
name again?
Maribel Ortega.
Maribel.
Yes.
Shouts out, Maribel.
Shout out to
Yes.
Maribel. I thank you, Maribel, for being a good friend to
Yes, a mentor,
Good friend.
and
and a good mentor. Thank you.
yes, and she's the type of person that we need friends that will call you out on your BS, right?
Ooh,
So-
talk to me now.
So
Yes.
she's definitely one of
Okay.
those, and she'll be like, "Look, Jess, all right, boo boo, you can lie to yourself, but you ain't gonna lie to me."
Okay.
Kind of, and what's great about us is that we balance each other out a lot.
Okay.
Wherever I'm weak, she's stronger, and vice versa, and it has made our synergy, our dynamic work how it has worked for all these years, because we've worked with each other since the beginning, throughout like our insurance career.
That's what I'm.
And
Yes.
so whenever we do have disagreements and stuff like that, we're able to put our emotions aside and look at it logically. And there's, I'm telling the truth, because she's put me in uncomfortable positions where, she calls me out on my BS.
That's good.
And
She's supposed to call. She's supposed to.
That is good.
And vice versa, where I'm like, hey, Mara, we got to look at it this way. We got to do this differently. And we just hear each other out. So in case something like that were to happen, I think that before any of that were to happen, we would definitely have a conversation and see what's going to work best for the both of us in the long run. But we already told each other we're stuck with each other.
Hold on. So you would make it work for the best of both of y'all, right?
Yes.
Okay, but would you leave your friend? What's her name again?
Maribel?
Maribel. Would you say hell with Maribel and go start a insurance company with 2 other people?
No, she's stuck with me.
Okay.
And
Why
now
wouldn't
I'm
you do?
stuck with
Why
her.
and why wouldn't you do that though?
Because when the opportunity presented itself,
Okay.
and she
Amen.
came to me and asked me, to be part of this with her, she didn't have to,
Right.
and she brought me along, and
Okay.
I feel and I know that I owe her for that, because I would not be in the position that I'm in if it weren't for her hard work and her willingness to bring me along as a partner.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I want to say thank you to Maribel.
Yeah.
So my point exactly to Paul is I've been a friend to him. I put him in play. And I've been a good friend to Paul. And he turns around and takes something that I've been building for 20 years that I'm known for. Because my wife told me, don't say it's yours, because you can't say it's yours. Because technically, I got it from Milwaukee in 2003 when I was DJing in Milwaukee Taco Tuesday. So I can't say it's mine, but something I've been doing for 20 years, and I bring him in, and he has the nerves to take my Taco Tuesday and put a game night over it and try to do it with 2 other people, that a brand that I helped been building for 20 years. And I just thought that was just so unfair. And I just told him for 2025, and I don't want to think I'm lying. I don't want to think I'm playing, because I love him as a friend. He's my buddy, and I swear he's a good guy to me. I eat at his house. I go to his house, but I am not doing business with him. 2025, I am not.
Paul.
Oh, my
Listen,
gosh.
I'm serious. I don't want y'all to think I'm joking right now. I don't want to think the people at home, because I love them like a brother. And the people, everybody that was involved with it, I'm not dealing with y'all. And one guy said he never done business with me before. Thank you, Jesus. I never done business with him. Let's keep it like that. I never want to do business with you. You came to my parties checking me out, and they taking pictures with me and all this. I never been to none of their events. I never supported them. But I love Paul like a brother. But for 2025, all the comments, all the hearts that everybody was liking, I'm cutting everybody off, Paul. I promise, man. And I love you like a brother, man. I promise I do. But 2025, bro, no more. it's over, bro. I mean, we gonna still do the podcast or whatever. If you want to cut me off, it's cool too. I don't mind. But at the end of the day, I do my own podcast if I got to. I do my own thing. I'm doing a new Taco Tuesday, December 17th. All new. That's all. That's it. And I'll be in the flyer be dropping soon. New Taco Tuesday coming soon. And Paul, please, man, as a real friend, I'm asking you, man, like, I would never take your pull up and park, and I would never let nobody else take pull up and park and use it. That's just a no-no. And because you were my friend, I would never let that happen. And anybody got something to say, man, you know, I put my flyers anywhere. You could pull up on me if anybody has something to say about it. Anybody. And I'm looking at the camera telling anybody that's watching. If anybody has something to say about it, I drop a flyer every other day. Y'all know where I be at. Pull up on me if anybody has a problem with it. And that's Yellow Gold just speaking. Not even DJ Gold. That's Yellow Gold speaking. And like I say, I love you like a brother, Paul. You good person. You gave me a job one time. I mean, I didn't even ask it. You offered it to me. But I just thank you for being a good friend, man. But the certain things you just did, man, I just was hurt by it. You crossed me. And you put other people in play on my shit. You know what I mean? But I love you, though. It ain't nothing changed. But as far as business going forward, nah. You can keep the pull up and park shit. I don't want no part of that. That's all you. And I would never let nobody take that from you because you my brother. You know what I mean?
Understood.
With that being said, we're going to keep this going. I was just saying that while we cleaned up the mess. I ain't want to cut you off or nothing like that. But I just wanted to let that be known, man, just while we keep going, you know. But go ahead, Paul. I know you got some questions.
What advice would you give anyone trying to get into your field of work as far as like being if somebody's out there listening and wants to be, yeah.
Okay, so to become an insurance agent, you do have to take courses, depending on what type of product you want to sell, because there's the P&C, which is property and casualty, which is auto and home, and then there's the life and health, and then there's general. You have to pass like an exam for the state to get licensed to become an insurance producer, and you have to pass like the general material and then the law for Illinois. And then once you are licensed, you have to submit the application. So they do run a background check. They ask you all the, if you're behind on child support. They ask you if you're, had any felonies or any misdemeanors. So they do an intense background check, just how they do for anything else when you try to get licensed for the state. You file an application, and then you renew your license every 2 years.
Well,
there's continuing ed every 2 years as well.
And people, 2 years ain't long.
No.
2 years fly by nowadays. So nowadays you just got to make sure you're on top of it. And like I say, I wasn't trying to be rude to nobody because I love Paul like a brother. And I don't want to get off the subject because we are here about you, but I do apologize if you felt like I did said anything wrong, but I do apologize to you. Because like they say, I got off the topic, but I said that I was going to say this in the beginning, and, like I say, this is the real talk. We having a, good time. We made a little mess that Paul made, and I said I was going to have time to say it while we was cleaning it up. That's all. He got my phone all messed up, but I do apologize, Ms.
You're okay.
Like I said, I don't mean no harm. Nothing changed with me and Paul. I still love him like a brother. We family. And like I said, and I do apologize, just so you know.
You're good.
Okay, what type of policies are there for me and the family? I think we touched a little bit on something. You were saying something like $50,000 for just a bare minimum or something like that, and then you have other.
What you want to look at when you consider life insurance, there's a strategy called DIME. So you got to take a look at your debt, right? Your income times 10, your mortgage, and then education. So if you have best advice for younger people, younger than us, to get life insurance while you're young.
Paul older than both of us.
Because that's
Paul older than both of them.
as we get older, it becomes more expensive, right? So if you have young kids, make sure that you get a life insurance policy on them while they're young. Also, if you're, getting married, that's a life event. You're having a new baby, adding to your family. You want to consider how much insurance you need, like we mentioned, for funeral expenses. And then if you have a mortgage, you want to be able to have enough insurance to cover the mortgage. They do say that you lose more homes to death than you do to fire, because if it's a husband and wife and children, and you're used to either one income or the both incomes, and one of the spouses passes away, then the other spouse is stuck with having to provide that additional income. So if they can't afford the house, they're gonna lose the house because that other income is missing. So enough to cover the mortgage, and then enough to cover at least 5 years of that other person's income until you get back on your feet. If you have children, you want to make sure that you have enough coverage until the last kid is off to college, so around maybe 22. And then just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, when you do go through custodial battles, you can request for the parent, both, or depending on who has custody of the kids, to have a life insurance policy on themselves until the last kid turns 18 or is out the house and in college. So that's mandatory. Like, you can get that to be mandated through the court.
But is it more, so pretty much it's more like an investment then?
It is an investment.
Okay.
How do you think people, ended up with all this money? People put trust and then have insurance on everybody that's in the trust. So as people start passing away, all that money gets dumped into that trust, and people, that's how, you can't touch.
So there is a difference between a trust and a life insurance.
But
Yes.
the older people are paying the bills on time. Can you agree to that?
That older people?
Like, say people, not even Paul age, just say like people that's
65.
Yeah.
And they're 65.
60s
So when they're
and
retiring.
Well,
Pretty
I mean,
much
there's people paying bills on time,
even the young people, you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean,
I'd be late.
you know,
No, I'm serious. I'd be late. I ain't gonna say I'd be late on my insurance, because only reason why I don't be late on my insurance, because like my motorcycle, my car and stuff, I don't want them to be late paying me if something happens.
right.
And I always tell them,
Well,
hey,
I mean,
I'm
that's
paying
the
on
same
time.
thing with life insurance. You want to make sure you get,
Right.
paid if something happens, or your family's going to receive that check.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. But I'm just saying, well, older people pay more, but you saying younger people
No,
pay
young
on
people
time too.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, yeah.
So basically
Definitely.
saying a trust. You
That's-
teach it
that's-
pretty much.
that's-
The trust, the life insurance, it's the same thing.
There's
Trust and life
companies. No, it's not the same thing.
Okay,
There's
trust.
there's some insurance carriers that do offer as an incentive a trust and a will. Because remember, you have to point out who your
will.
beneficiary is going to be, and then looking more into it. Like, if you have a will, then you're going to appoint like your power of attorney. Like, what if you're in a coma? Like, who's going to decide who's going to pull the plug if you want them to pull the plug, and all of that, and any decisions in regards to your estate and all of that? Who's going to make the choices? If you don't have any of that, then it's all through probate, and
So that'd just be anybody can say anything, right?
pretty much.
Paul, do
Or
you
they'll
have?
leave you.
So do
I
you
didn't- I
do
didn't
you
think
have?
about it like that. I guess. I
So
want
do
both.
you have a will right now?
Nope. Nope.
So
Not
who
at all.
gonna get that raggedy ass Cadillac?
I better start making.
Hey, I'm trying. Hey,
I gotta start making.
no, I ain't
that.
trying to be.
That's-
No, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm for real. Like, do you have a will in case something happens right now?
Nope.
So pretty
Now,
much.
that's probably a lot of people don't either, though.
I mean, I never thought of that.
I never.
No.
You
I
know,
never thought about dying,
To
but
me, this is like real
And
serious, because I'm like, man, what you said earlier, and then
Yes.
I'm like,
The thing is that in our communities, our Black and brown communities, they don't teach us all that stuff, like the financial literacy. People in other communities are way more advanced because they come from families that know all of this. But I always say we live in the information era, right? We have everything instantly in our hand,
phone.
and yes, and,
Yeah,
and
we-
it's we have to do our due diligence to do better, for our kids.
So Yeah, so you saying leave some of this energy out the phone and figure out how we can make sure we got life insurance, we got wills, policies, and everything. Cause like I say, I don't have no will, and I think just something I do need to work on. I mean, I ain't got much. I ain't got nothing.
So look,
Some
in your words, would you say to go ahead and make a will or make
Yes.
something? So make
Yeah.
a will and get
At
all
any
that.
age.
So when
Yeah,
you go and get
be-
the
be
trust
prepared.
and go
Yeah.
when you get the trust, make the will, bring
Yes.
that with.
Ooh, I know.
So there's no problem.
And
know.
then that's something that you want to ask too, like the carrier, depending on where you go buy life insurance. Again, there's companies out there that will offer it as an incentive. So it comes with it basically, and they help you prepare. Because if you do it yourself, we're talking about, back in the day when I got my will done, it was like $500. We're talking back in like 08, 09. So
But see, you've
Yeah.
been knowing this knowledge almost 16 years ago. And
I've
that-
been in the insurance industry going on 20, yeah.
Yeah, see, 16. I'm good.
So you
with
started
numbers.
In 05. In
So
the
in five
insurance,
with
yeah,
insurance.
insurance industry, yes.
Yeah, that's
Well,
good.
let me tell you a little story about. I just found this out maybe in 2019 and how important life insurance is. So I kid around about my parents smuggling me into the United States, right?
At 3.
At 3, yes.
Wait, ain't nobody gonna forget that part. I promise.
At 3.
Smuggled you
At
in
3.
at 3.
I mean, I had
and
no
been
say.
North Chicago
I had no
and
say.
since then.
My mom, she had 2 younger brothers that were killed here in the United States.
Sorry to hear that.
Yes, they were 20 and 16 when they passed away. And it seems like months later, my grandfather, because we were still in Mexico, received a pretty chunk amount of money for their death. So apparently they had life insurance. I don't know if maybe through work or whatnot, but
Oof.
my grandfather lent my mom and my dad money so we can cross the border off of that life insurance policy. So
that's how
if it
you-
wasn't because of a life insurance policy, the money from what had happened, I probably wouldn't be here in the States.
And her people made sure she was okay like that. See what I'm saying? So if something was happening to you right now, Paul, who would you leave it with? Like, out the kids?
I want to leave
Dylan?
it. I want to leave it with the kids, but
Which one?
More and
Which
more.
one we want to know?
I have to
Annalise?
leave it with the oldest.
Dylan? That's Dylan?
No, Jordan. I have
Jordan?
to leave it with
Okay.
the oldest because I think he would be more responsible to trickle it down.
Oh, you
And
know,
I
Annalise.
want to get at least 400,000 because I got 5 kids.
Annalise,
Yeah.
And then I know I'm gonna have some bills.
And you could have multiple policies too.
Annalise gonna scratch his Cadillac up.
You say you gotta have multiple. So
Yes.
once you get that, you could have multiple.
You gotta pay him though, man.
Yeah.
You just cannot pay him, man.
But
This-
you figure if we
you're
did
not-
it
if
at,
you're
at
not
work,
working a good job and you're not getting it took out your check, I wouldn't even try to recommend to pay out of pocket every time on time. It's hard.
I don't know. So what was your life like before you became? I just got to ask you before you got in the insurance business and
Like
stuff like that.
Before 05?
Yeah.
You mean?
So
much.
you
I
had-
was a kid.
You had your business before. When you start the business, what actually did you?
We
and-
started mid-February, actually this year. So we're coming up in our year anniversary mid-February.
okay.
Yeah. So I always like to say this: we're new to being business owners, but we're not new to insurance. We have almost 20 years of experience, both Maribel and I. So
All right. Shout out to Maribel one
Yes.
more time. Thank you, Maribel.
20 years experience.
yes.
And then okay, that's wow.
And that at least for me, that job landed on my lap. So I was maybe
I don't think nothing lands on your lap. I think that was just God's plan.
it was God's
Yeah,
plan.
yeah, that-
Seriously,
no,
yes.
I don't think it just happens. Like
No,
that's
nothing's
the
a
plan.
coincidence.
So with your partner, did y'all work together previously before owning this business?
Yes, we met when we worked together at Insure One. So that's an insurance
Oh,
agency
okay,
in
okay.
Waukegan, right off of Grand and Lewis. And
remember now.
Yes.
Right next to Play by Play? Is that correct?
Across the
Across the
though.
street. Across the
Okay.
street, yes.
You don't know nothing about walking.
So she had already been working at the office like 2 weeks prior to me beginning, and we just hit it off. Like we hit it off great. She then transitioned to Allstate. She worked with Allstate from '07 up until like through COVID. And then eventually I left Insure One after 10 and a half years. And yes, and went to Allstate. So then we worked together at Allstate right through, we ended up losing our jobs shortly after COVID. She stayed in the insurance business. I was in a transition where I was like, well, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up type thing. So I was doing a little bit of dabbing here and there. And then this opportunity presented itself. And then she called me and she's like, hey, I want to do this. Yes, you're like the perfect person that I want to do it with, but I need you to let me know like yesterday. I was like,
what? She called you and just say, hey, look.
No, she actually she called me to meet up. This was like November of 23.
Okay.
And she was like, hey, Jess, I want to take you out to eat. I was like, okay, what's the occasion, right?
Yeah.
We were going to go after church, and it just didn't happen. I think I didn't go to church that weekend. And about a month went by, and she's like, I really need to meet up with you. So at this point, I knew it was serious because she,
Right.
It was serious. So we met up and she told me about the opportunity, and she's like, look, we work well together. Her and I, like I mentioned, we balance each other out. Right. And one thing about her and I is we're both fire signs, or we have very strong personalities, and we don't like being told what to do. So we, balance each other out, and she's like, I need you on my team, and we went for it.
That's what's up. Mm-hmm. And they say they making it
Called
happen.
You up and you went right away.
Yes.
I believe COVID messed up a lot of things because I think I wasn't working during COVID. I wasn't working during COVID because nobody knew what to do. They didn't make it where you can still do certain jobs at one point in time. They shut the whole world down, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, if you, the car businesses didn't shut down.
You could, huh?
Yeah, we was working. Grease Monkey guys was working.
I'm talking about when COVID first
When
touched.
COVID hit, we worked. It was
That's
6
impossible,
feet.
Everything was
we worked,
closed.
buddy. We
Except-
worked.
except
Anybody
for
in the car business, they at home, they'll tell you. They'll say it right now. If you was in the car business, that stayed going, hospital workers, essential. That's
essential.
the word. If you was essential worker.
But they had to come up with that. They just didn't make it essential as soon as COVID hit.
We never closed.
They
And then
never
our parts,
closed?
yeah,
My
the
bad.
auto parts, yep. Auto parts.
Hell, I wasn't working, so I know I feel bad because I think I don't remember what happened. I wasn't working at the time.
Yep.
Yeah,
I lost my
worked from
job
home.
almost at the
Yeah,
time.
it messed a lot of people up, but them essential workers, you had to do it.
So you got to look at the people that pulled through during COVID. I think COVID was like the scariest thing in the world, but it's the people that still pulled through, the people that was struggled in them 2 years. Well, it was a 2-year gap, you know what I mean? A lot of people struggled, but some people made it through, so you got to shout out to them.
Your insurance, though, is basically what you're telling everybody at home, is the best insurance to get, because you're gonna explain this. You're gonna teach us.
Look.
So when we come in to call you, Jess, you're gonna come in and give us the whole diagram like you're saying right now. You gonna tell us what plan that would be best fit. Okay.
Yes, I always do my due diligence with our customers, because being in the business, what sets you apart, there's a lot of competition, right?
Right.
What sets you apart is how you treat the customer. And I always say people are always going to remember how you made them feel.
Okay.
Right. And if you provide, extraordinary customer service, whether they buy with you at that time or later on, because we can't always help everybody. Right. So they're going to remember, and they're going to call you, or they're going to refer people to you. I like to really sit down and take my time, because we do have customers that call or come in and rush you, and they try to tell you how to do your job. Like, I just want the state minimum or something in case the police pulls me over or whatever. And I try to make people think. I give them scenarios of like, hey, this is why I recommend XYZ. And the people that really take the time to ask questions or even just listen, at the end of the day, as an insurance agent, like my due diligence is when you get off the phone with me or you leave my desk,
Right.
that you understand what a policy entails, a coverage, and you have that peace of mind, and not any agent you're going to go to is just going to sell you whatever, you know, because insurance policies are supposed to be tailored to the customer, not what Jessica wants to sell to you.
Well, I feel like 90%, I ain't going to say 90, but a lot of these companies, I feel like they just try to take your money. Gene got a question. Can you get motorcycle insurance for 6 months only? Thank you. That's a very important question, Gene, because I'm not disrespecting you, but I've been through State Farm, and it's like I don't ride my bike October, November, December, January, February.
Months.
Yeah, and I'm still paying now like $80-something a month, but it's full coverage. Do they have insurance company? He said, do they have a motorcycle insurance just for 6 months only? That's it.
For the most part, for motorcycles, it's an annual policy. It's very rare that you would find one that is for 6 months. Very unlikely. But you can put, depending on the carrier, you can just keep storage coverage since you don't need the liability because you're not going to be riding the motorcycle.
Correct.
So you could put storage coverage. It depends on the company too, or not the company, if you're financing the bike still, if you still have a loan on the bike and they require you to have full coverage for the entirety of the season, then you're going to have to keep it,
All year.
Yeah, all year.
Okay, then we have one more question, and this comes from the Waukegan Mail Depot. Okay, do you offer quotes for businesses?
Yes, we do. It depends on the risk too. So it depends on the carrier because there's some risks that certain companies don't take.
And not to cut you off, but I'm just saying like it's more than just business because you said in the beginning because a lot of people might not have been tuned in. Just tell the people one time what all do you do cover at Ortega Insurance?
So we specialize in auto insurance. We also do SR22s for people that need the filing. We do home insurance, renters insurance, commercial business, and life insurance. So basically everything with the exception of medical.
If my coworker watching, she do SI. I ain't say your name, but hold on, I ain't say his name though, because I got a whole bunch of coworkers. But shit, if my coworker watching coworkers, shit, she got SI-22. Get you some SI-22.
And she right in North Chicago.
Because you can't drive without that. He still be driving. But
And
yeah,
we're also licensed to cover the state of Illinois and the state of Wisconsin. So we write in Wisconsin
both
as
states.
well.
Yeah,
yes.
that's good.
And working to be able to get licensed and do all of the surrounding states for the agency as well.
Gene said, well, do your company do that? I guess does.
SR22?
No, I guess meaning with the motorcycle part.
For the
No, we
Storage.
don't. No,
Okay.
it's an annual policy.
Okay.
Oh, but the storage, yes.
Oh, you do it?
For storage, yeah. A lot of the insurance carriers do offer the storage option.
All right. So he probably won't. He ain't got no cheap ass bike neither. So he gonna probably need a big policy. Yeah, he got about
I would.
200. I ain't gonna put his business out there.
Bike is
but
real nice.
Yeah, he got a real nice bike. So I figure he got to get
Is
a big.
it all original parts or is it aftermarket parts?
No,
Because then the insurance would be different. Just like
That's a
custom
nice
cars.
bike.
Mhm.
I wish I could show you a picture of it. He definitely got a nice bike. So how can they get in touch with you? Should they, if they don't want to go over there? Like, what would be the best way to get in touch with you?
Call us at 847-696-6459. We're also on Facebook and Instagram.
Can you repeat
personal-
that number one more time?
Yes.
Jean, you ready? She finna
Ready.
repeat it right now.
It's
Here we go.
847-696-6459.
Woo. And just call. Ask her anything you want to ask her.
Yes.
You want to put insurance on your dog? You want to put insurance? I'm serious. You can do
Yeah,
that, right?
you can.
Yeah.
There's pet
I got insurance on my dog for the hospital, the vets.
I know that's right.
You got insurance on your dog? You don't even walk your
No, I
dog.
take my dog out
So
every
he
little
had-
bit.
He has 2 dogs, and you know people out there, they know 2 dogs. You don't do nothing for your dogs. You don't walk them. You don't bring them out. None of you guys on this live, even though he has 2 dogs. So he's not a pet lover. He don't, I don't even know why he has.
My heart was
2
broke
dogs.
when I had my other puppy. So
So he said.
so I love him. I just
So
Just
he
keep
said.
it.
Yeah.
Like,
You
keep it
you're
in
guarded now. You're
I got
guarded.
a
So
little
he
guard
said-
for myself. You know, I just don't.
You want to
that.
holler at
It was-
Mr. Smith?
Yeah. See if he did he say any
he's-
comments.
No, he's calling. Mr. Smith is calling.
Oh, okay. So, any other comments then in there? I just want to
So
give
yeah,
people a chance.
Miss
to
Kelly,
ask.
and I want to shout out to Kelly because Kelly always been supporting from day one. A1, she's from Zion. You know,
CB.
Sh-
No, she probably went to Waukegan, though.
I think she been in Zion since I've been knowing her, but she might not be. But she said, I hear people can use their life insurance when they are still alive. Is that true?
Oh, okay. Let's get to it
Yes,
now.
that is
Ooh, I'm
true.
glad she asked that. Come on.
Yes, so I had mentioned earlier that there's term insurance and there's permanent insurance. And with permanent insurance, you have the option to do whole life or universal life or the IUL. So this is basically an insurance policy that grows in cash value. It's tied to like the S&P, right? So if the stock market goes up, depending on how you have it set up, your cash amount goes up as well. If it crashes, your life insurance amount doesn't get affected or anything like that. You can also pretty much borrow
Shout out
from
to DJ
the
Flacco.
IUL as well. They give you a certain amount of time to pay it back if you choose to go that route. Otherwise, there's some companies that, let's just say you have a $300,000 policy and you take out $100,000,
Okay.
and they only give you a year to pay it back, and you're not able to pay it back in a year. What they'll do, they'll subtract from that original $300,000 that you had that $100,000, so you're only left with $2. So, you know, if you pull that out and you're
can't
good
look at
at
it
like
like that.
investing in the stock market, you do any stock investment or property or whatever, use it to obtain more assets or compound your money, you can. You know, that's how people build on wealth.
So how do you feel like, just say if your insurance is $200 a month on a vehicle, full coverage on a fast car, $200 a month, you paid it off for 10 years. You know, people feel like, well, I done wasted $200 for 10 years. That could have been a whole nother car. But if actually making sure if something happens to your vehicle, it's covered. And people don't understand, you got to get a right policy, because if you hit the wrong vehicle or hurt somebody, you could still be paying out of your pocket, and you won't get a license
That's
until
true,
you finish.
That is true.
Until you finish paying. So you got to make sure you can't just be going to the insurance company. Just give me the minimum.
Yeah, no.
Man, you hit a Rolls Royce, your ass is grass. You hit a nice $200,000 car. Guess what? And somebody get hurt, you gonna be on out of your pockets.
You know, when it comes to insurance, people or auto insurance are just waiting to get into an accident to file a claim and get some money.
What?
You know, if you get a good lawyer, I mean, you can file a pretty good claim on, especially if you're seriously hurt on bodily injury itself. And what people don't
Numbers.
keep in mind is that just like everything else is going up, right? These medical expenses, these parts on these cars are also going up, the
Say that
cost
again.
of labor and all of that. So, you know, the state of Illinois requires you to have a minimum, like a state minimum, right? So you can drive legally with liability covers. But people don't realize like these policies, and I'm going to go into insurance agent mode for the people out here. A policy will cover like $25,000 for one person that you injure in that car. But what happens if it exceeds that
you said how much?
$25,000? $25,000 is not gonna get you like.
Thank you. Say it to the
It's
people.
not, it's
because
not.
like that's
And then the maximum that they pay out is $50,000 if there's 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 people. You know, if you're Mexican like me, where you put all them people in the car and get into an accident, then you're in trouble. And if it exceeds that amount, you know, if somebody gets a good lawyer, then they can sue you. That's why it's always recommended to have higher liability limits. And then if you are a homeowner or a business owner, have all these other assets, you want to make sure that you have higher coverage too, because what happens if, it exceeds that limit that your policy holds? People can put a lien against your assets.
Yes,
And
they
even if we
can.
live in Illinois, they'll garnish your wages too until you pay out.
And
So-
no license,
Yeah.
none of that.
And people, and just so to put it out there like that, to make people think, we always think that it's not going to happen to us until it happens to us. And then we don't know. And we don't know what we don't know until we go through a process, right? Let's just say you get into an accident and it's a pretty bad accident. You have to get airlifted, right?
Right.
That's
100,000.
probably, I don't know how much it costs, to
No,
be
I'm
honest
just-
with you,
yeah, I'm
but
just
let's
throwing
just
a
put it
number out there.
extreme out there, right? And what if that person requires like surgery or intensive therapy?
If he's
They
on
lose
that
their
helicopter,
job.
if he's on that helicopter, he's definitely needed
Yeah.
assistance.
It's going to be more than that 25,000 or that 50,000. And people, we don't think about that until it happens. Like I said, until it happens to us, we don't think about that.
So basically, you're telling us when you come in, pick the best policy possible.
Yes.
So
Make it-
you're covered.
Make it make
Yeah.
sense.
So
And
because
she-
anything can happen.
But she has
Yes.
to also explain to him what she has to explain to the people when they do come in, like, look, if you do hit something wrong or if somebody get hurt, this ain't gonna cover this. You're gonna still owe. That's why I always check my policies on everything.
So that means a person can get sued then.
Yeah.
So even though
Yes.
just know for the
Yeah.
people at home, just because you got insurance and this is bare minimum,
Hey.
that don't
Yeah,
mean you
no.
still safe.
No.
Hey, it could be the richest guy. Guess what? He is coming for you. The
Mm-hmm.
richest guy is gonna come sue you for everything you got, and make sure you getting it garnished. Make sure you don't get no license. You don't drive no more. All that. I have a couple questions too. I just want to ask. Cause shout out to Shy watching too. DJ's asking this question: does home insurance cover DJ equipment and storage? No, I think his storage place should cover insurance.
Well, your homeowner's policy or your renter's insurance policy covers your personal belongings, your contents. But if you have a business, and then that would fall under your business insurance for the general liability and the contents. But if it's just a little set, for example, then yeah, that would be covered. And anything in your storage unit would be covered as well. It's an extension of your homeowner's policy or renter's insurance policy.
So the stuff at the insurance place. I mean,
The storage?
the storage.
It would be
place,
covered.
It would be covered.
Yeah.
Okay. He asked another question too. He said I got in a bad car accident. It wasn't my fault, and my BMW was totaled. I got $5,000, and I had bodily harm. Bad lawyer. I guess that's all he was saying. Yeah, there ain't nothing else after that. So he's saying a bad lawyer, or I don't know.
Or a bad insurance company.
Yeah, that's
Well-
what it sounded like. It sounded like that's what it could have been, because he
when
said he got in a bad accident. It wasn't his fault, and he said his BMW was totaled. The insurance only gave him $5,000.
Well, how old was the BMW?
I don't know
How many
really.
miles it had?
Yeah, he
Because
didn't put that
when
in
it
there.
comes to a total loss for vehicles, they look at the year, make, and model of the car, and then the how many miles it has. So they look at like the Kelly Blue Book, even the Black Book,
Okay.
and they do all like their research to pay out for whatever the vehicle is worth at that time. I always suggest for people that are financing vehicles,
Yes.
when
Tell
you
tell him.
when you go out there and finance a car, they offer gap insurance when you're
Please
signing.
I was gonna ask you about
Yeah,
that.
when you're
Yes.
signing off, right? And for people that don't know how gap insurance works,
Say it right now.
so let's just say you finance a car for $30,000, right? And the car depreciates as soon as you drive off the lot. You get into an accident.
I hope y'all listening. Please listen, because what she's telling you is straight facts.
Yes. Let's just say you get into a really bad car accident 2-3 months down the road and the vehicle is totaled. The insurance company, like I said, is going to pay out whatever the vehicle is worth at the time of loss. So let's just say they say it's only worth $20,000, but you financed it for $30,000, right?
Okay.
With the interest rate or whatever, that's how much you owe the bank. And the insurance company only pays out $20,000. Guess what?
You owe.
You owe that difference. So that's when gap insurance kicks in. I have come across some customers. We actually had, oh my gosh, we had maybe like 3 total losses since we've been open with.
What, brand new cars?
One of them was a brand new
Oh
car.
my
Yeah.
God.
It was a very bad accident. One, I think, was natural disaster. I think it was flooded. Like one of the times that, yeah. And then the other one was actually a comprehensive claim, like somebody lit somebody's car on fire or something like that. But that gap insurance covers the difference. And a lot of the times when you go to a dealership, I mean, they're supposed to offer it, but you know, a lot of times they want to make a sale.
Yeah,
And if you're only like kind of almost at that mark where either you qualify or don't, and they want to make that sale, they probably won't offer it to you. And a lot of people decline it because they're like, oh, it's not going to happen to me. Or, well, it happened to me. I totaled, I totaled brand new cars, and I was able to walk out with having to pay nothing. But not all gap insurance companies work that way, because one of the people that we insured their gap insurance, luckily they had gap insurance. I think they ended up paying like $1,800 after it kicked in. So I guess it depends on that carrier. But a lot of the bigger companies, like with us, with Farmers, other insurance carriers too, like the big ones, offer that vehicle replacement or the gap insurance. So if you didn't get it through like the dealership, you can get it through your insurance carrier, and it's not expensive.
And one of the guy that I was asking you about the BMW, he said he didn't have gap insurance.
Oh, okay.
So, and what did he say? It was valued at $10,000.
And they only gave him 5?
Yeah. So you telling me you paid $5 out your pocket? You definitely had the maybe wrong insurance too, right? That's what it sounds like. I don't know. That's
why we got to read them policies.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what
just
she said.
saying.
Basically,
you only
you
gave
gotta
me
read the
5
policy.
and I owe 10. Like I'm upside down. Like they ain't even gonna let me get another car because
You're upside down.
10.
Yeah.
Or I owe 5 because they gave me a check for 5. But I just think that's you got.
I know what. In closing, though, I need to reevaluate this life insurance thing, though, because there's some stuff in there that you hit home, like age. So you get to be 50 like me.
Are you gonna work
better
out?
gonna-
Because there's ways you could just stay healthy. You know what I mean? It's ways.
I'm just saying, some
just-
people at home just not gonna work out. I ain't ready to work out.
What
so
they
I'm gonna
brewing up some coffee in here?
yeah,
What
it's
is that?
coffee.
That's
So
delicious.
it's people at home. Y'all better pay attention.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, find you somebody who can explain about this insurance to you, because I'm one of them. I'm gonna have to sit down with her, and she gonna have to go line by line.
you definitely
so
gotta put some-
if something do happen to me, I can leave my loved one something, and I don't leave them stuck.
Yeah.
And you got to find out what works.
Who
for
gonna
you.
get the Cadillac?
I don't know. They gonna have to. They gonna end up selling it anyway. They ain't gonna. Them
Hey,
kids
I
nowadays
can
don't even
see-
know the value.
I can see John like that. Nobody want that.
I can see it. They want money.
Shout out to
That's
John
just most
too,
people.
man.
You want to make sure. You
He
leave
said
everybody's
if
situation.
a tree fell on your car, you was told full coverage wouldn't work, or didn't work. What? I don't know what he said. What do you need insurance? Wise. If a tree fell on your car,
He's basically saying, what do you need insurance? Like, basically, if the tree fell on the car, what kind of insurance would basically we need? Full coverage.
That would be under full coverage,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's 2 parts to full coverage. There's a part called comprehensive, and there's collision. So comprehensive is insurance, like if somebody steals your car, so theft, vandalism, natural disaster, which would be like a tree, a branch falling on top of your car,
Correct.
fire, flood, or even like hail
damage.
Yes, and then if you hit like a deer or a bigger animal and you wreck your car. And a lot of people don't know that glass is also covered under comprehensive. And one of like the most common claims that we have are windshield claims. and that's under comprehensive.
Somebody driving on the highway. A rock
Yes,
hits
and
them.
then I always suggest people, because a lot of the time, especially if you go with these like non-standard companies, they offer like the same deductible amount for comprehensive and collision, and you know, because rates are really high. I'm just gonna put it out there because rates are high everywhere. They give you like a higher deductible to lower the premium, right? And then you go and get $1,000 comprehensive deductible, and you have to file a windshield claim.
Right.
Then you're not even like we'll be like, just pay out of pocket, because
That wouldn't make sense.
it wouldn't make sense. So a lot of people don't know that you can lower your comprehensive deductible, and then you can increase your collision to like offset it. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
and comprehensive coverage collision is more expensive than comprehensive.
Okay.
There's some companies that offer like a zero deductible for comprehensive, 100, 250. So you have that option. And then comprehensive claims do not affect your rates. So just so you know.
And Kelly she just asked one little question. She said, we need a class on how
Oh,
to
that's
borrow.
coming. Stay tuned.
Okay, so just make sure y'all stay in tune, Miss Jess, please.
And
'Cause-
can I add too?
ahead.
Because Maribel and I were invited when we started the agency. There's J&J's Remodeling in North Chicago. Shout out to Reggie and his wife that invited us to facilitate some of these financial literacy classes. So there's opportunity to sit in rooms where there's, like the professionals go and speak on financial literacy, and people don't take advantage of that.
They don't. Like, you could tell somebody you doing a class right now, she might come, but like, I don't think many will support it, But like say, you need a class on how to borrow against your life insurance.
Definitely need that.
If you have it. And like you say, if you don't have it, she's going to make sure you get it. So please, y'all, just you can take 5 minutes out your day, and you'd be surprised. Like, say, you're investing in yourself.
Yeah.
You say it's
It is an investment.
Yeah,
It
just to
is.
make
It
sure
is.
you're securing your family.
Take a look, like the advice, my unsolicited advice.
No, give them some advice
that
real quick.
I say,
give them some good advice.
We are very loyal people. As humans, we're loyal to where we're comfortable, where our family is, our friends, all of that, right? But I always suggest that shop around insurance at least every 2 to 3 years, because the rates do go up and down, right? So sometimes we're stuck with the same insurance carrier for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years because we're that loyal and they treat us. But we don't know that we might be, able to save like half of what we're paying already, right? So do your due diligence and shop around every 2 to 3 years. And then if you can bring as much business to the same carrier, like if you have auto and renters or auto and home or a life insurance policy with anything, you get discounts on all of those policies as well. So try to have everything under one roof. And then when you sit down, that you're going to shop around, pick 3 carriers. Whenever I can't help somebody, and I'll tell them, I'll be honest, like, hey, we can't help you, but I know so-and-so at State Farm, I know so-and-so at Allstate, at Country Financial, at American Family, at Freeway, as long as Maribel and I have been in the insurance industry, we have relationships with these other agents, that, we send them off. So if we can't help, like, we're going to find you somebody that can help you. But make sure that when you do this, make sure that you have an agent that's going to ask you questions, because that's our job. We need to make sure that we're asking all the correct questions so we can insure you properly. If you don't tell us, a lot of the times people don't tell us the truth, and when you sign, when you hear those companies that don't pay out, is because when you sign an insurance policy, you're signing that all the information that you're giving is correct. If they find out that you lied, that's misrepresentation or false information, and they have the right to deny the claim.
Let me ask you one other little question.
I'm going to ask him, what do you really need out of me? I'm bringing my birth certificate, social
your
security
DNA.
card. Yeah, DNA.
So question, is it
bring
true
them
though?
out,
I've heard from the grapevine, like, if you have full coverage on a car or truck, and somebody would, let's just say somebody went to the store and you didn't know they had no license, if they're not under your insurance, is the car still covered?
Yes. It
There
would
you
be
go.
covered.
I
It
wanted to
would
hear
be
that.
covered.
I wanted to hear that right now.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you get told that all the time, but I gotta.
There's a lot
special
of people that drive around without a license.
There you go.
And we
Talk
do.
to the people
we
right now.
insure. We insure without a license. We insure with international
Listen
license.
to this, y'all.
Hold on. So when nobody with no license can come get some insurance.
Yes.
Listen, if I drive your car and I ain't got no license, and I just went to the gas station, somebody hit it. Your car, if you got insurance, it's still covered. I heard that.
It's
not.
permissive use.
You better be careful of what you signing in because if some contracts
You heard what
might
she said,
say
though.
they ask you, are you the only driver? Or will you be the only driver in your vehicle? I
still
always
gonna
say
cover it.
no.
They're still gonna cover it.
Okay, Paul.
You heard it from right here.
let me tell you how it's not covered. If let's just say you and I live together, right, and your agent asks you, anybody else live with you, have access to the car, and you say no, and I don't have my own insurance policy, I have access to your car, and if I were to drive it and get into an accident, it's not covered because I have access to your car. Now, if we didn't live together and you say, hey, Jess, I need you to go around the corner and pick something up, and I get into an accident, then it would be covered. Now, the only time that like in the case that you said no license, it depends. Is the license suspended? Because it's different. Like I always ask, when you say no license, like is it suspended or you don't have a license?
Or you
period?
revoked, right?
Yeah, there's a difference.
There's a difference.
Yeah, but people that have revoked or suspended licenses, then it's a little more tricky than someone
Now, even
that
though I
doesn't
got
have,
full coverage though.
Yeah.
Even though myself, I pay full coverage now. I'm talking about the whole.
Well,
I
if
mean-
you not,
no, I'm just trying to get this clear because
Yeah.
I had somebody had a situation.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say, Ms. Jess, everybody's policy is going to be different?
When it
course.
comes to premiums, yes, but in regards to that permissive use, there's like the non-standard companies, like the
Talk to us, Jess.
the you know.
Come
like,
on, Jess, talk to
for
us.
example,
gonna
like
be a
the
hassle.
captive, like the independent brokers, like Freeway, for example, that they have contracts with all these other carriers that they can insure you at a lower premium, right? You would have to read the policy because they're a little bit more strict than, like a Farmers or a State Farm or an Allstate even, because these are bigger companies. The smaller companies, it might be an issue.
I think I was a day late on my State Farm, because I got State Farm on a motorcycle. But they emailed me the next day and was like, you need to make a payment. I take it out my check, but I forgot. I switched cars, got a whole different card. But they sure email you about their money.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell them, make sure you pay me on time, because
When
I'm
it
paying
comes
you guys.
to-
This is my motorcycle.
Yeah.
I got a different insurance on the cars, but on my motorcycle, I State Farm, but I do need to renew policies. I'm definitely coming to you and see what I can get, and I'm going to go with it. Because
Awesome.
I just want
I
to be a
definitely am
supporter.
too, 'cause I want to hear this.
I definitely want to be a supporter, and like I
Thank
say,
you.
we'll take our business to other people that we don't know. We do it all the time, but sometimes we got to keep it in, help other people grow, man.
So, is there any special shout out you want to give out before we close?
Any
Besides
special shout-out?
besides
Any-
Maribel, that's a
Besides
good,
Maribel?
that's a
Maribel,
good
hey.
friend. Man, I wish I had a friend like Maribel. Golly. No, go ahead, I'm just talking. But no, anybody want to give a shout out to?
I want to shout
Anybody
out
that's watching
my
or-
kids, of course.
There you go.
Are they
Okay,
watching?
okay.
Yes. Well, I asked them. I don't know. They
Nah,
they think mom is cringy. They're like, no, you're cringy.
So what they do, your kids? They play like Fortnite at home, or before they'll watch this, you think they'll be
I
playing
don't
video
know.
games?
Well, I have a 18-year-old,
Oh,
a
no, they
soon
ain't
to
playing
be
they ain't playing no
14, and a
Fortnite.
5-year-old. So maybe the older two, perhaps. I don't think the younger one.
Okay,
Yeah.
you
But
right.
shout out to my kids. Shout
That's
out
what's
to my mom and dad and my brother. Shout out to the team at Ortega Insurance Agency, everybody that has helped us along the way. It's very much appreciated, all the support from like our family, our friends, and people in the community. I was telling Paul earlier that, God really paved the way for us and really brought a lot of people like to support. So it's very, very,
Amen.
very appreciated.
That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So, when in closing though, next week we got 11/19.
Yeah,
Spring break?
he sure called.
Mr. Mike.
Yeah, 11-19 next week. We're gonna have him.
And definitely, like I say, he's been he's been giving back to the community tremendously. He is the I don't know, but he
Get your questions ready for next week.
Yeah, I got my questions ready for Mike. I'm finna eat him up. I'm finna eat him up. But that's my bro, like hands down. I try to call him and check on him like every day. I don't, but I always try to check on him, man. But he always doing positive things for just the people that don't have it. You know, just feeding people, giving back, man. And that's what I did for Thanksgiving. Like I gave back, man, to the veterans, man. Somebody emailed me today, asked me to give back to the kids, just DJ for them. I'm supposed to be mentoring or something. I'll show you the email later, but just giving back, man. I just love people like that, man. So like I say, shout out to him, man, because he always giving back, and that's what it's about, man.
We want to thank you here at the Real Talk Podcast for you coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
really
appreciate
thank
that.
you.
If you learned anything at home, can you give them the number one more time before we close out?
Yes. So it's Ortega Insurance Agency. The address is 2302 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. We're at the Spot in North Chicago. Phone number is 847-696-6459.
All right.
847.
Yes.
That's in the comment, y'all.
That's
just
what
in
I'm
case.
talking about. It's in the
Make
comments.
sure y'all blow her phone up, y'all.
Blow
And
it
just
up.
ask for any insurance. I told you, boat insurance, dog insurance, car insurance, life insurance. I don't know, Paul. You said you're gonna get you some life insurance?
Shoot, I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to.
Make
I've been
sure.
really seriously thinking about it. But,
Make
you know,
sure.
after you lose a job, you thinking everything is going to be everything. So I got to shop.
Yeah.
I got to sit down with
And
you.
then,
I
and
gotta
with
see
the
what's
thing
going to
with
be. You know?
jobs, you know, one of the things that we do get a lot of people saying, well, I have insurance through my job. Well, what if you lose your job? You know, and you're not 23, you're not 32, you're 40, 50 something. It's not going to be that easy to find, you know, a life insurance policy that's affordable, especially if you have like underlying conditions. Or you're a smoker.
Just say
Luckily, I ain't got them. I'm going to
it's
go sit
us.
down.
It's us. Like I used to be a smoker, and you know he used to be an eater. Well, he's still
Still a eater.
Yeah, he's still an eater. So
I ain't got no high blood pressure. Thank God, though. I don't. But anyway,
he haven't checked that.
please
ahead.
share, like. Also, we want to give a shout out
Boilo's
to
crazy. I shout out to
give
him
a
just
shout out
checking
to
in 10 hours later.
RF39 Productions. They don't just do podcasts, weddings,
And
pictures.
shout out to their new venue they got, man.
That's where we going. I was gonna wait till the grand opening.
Yeah.
Let them say it. They,
Damn,
wait.
maybe I'm talking. But they
I mean-
posted on Facebook already.
I mean, but yeah, congratulations.
Shout out to RF39
Yeah, we ain't gonna be in this
Productions,
kitchen
man.
too long. I'm gonna just let them know that right now.
Shit.
We moving up like George and Wheezy.
Shout out to them, man.
New
They
location
work
coming.
hard.
Just get ready.
It's all about sacrifices, taking that chance.
You know that's what. So, anything else you want to say before you close out?
No. This Friday I will be at Slush. Rose Gold birthday is Saturday. That's an off day, but she'll be working at Slush with me. Y'all come up there and show some love. Her birthday will be Saturday.
Happy birthday, Rose.
Don't forget, December 17th, I'll be starting All New Taco Tuesday. I'm putting together my red party. I'm putting together New Year's flyers. I can't forget about Ron birthday. Oh, I'm sorry. Ron birthday, December 14th in Milwaukee at Slush in Milwaukee. That's December 14th. Me and Granddaddy, we're going up there. We tearing the city down. Yes.
They doing what they doing. Hey, everybody got to do what they got to do. We out of here. The Real Talk Podcast. Check us out. You know you just had to sit there and talk some junk to me. You just had to talk some junk to me. You didn't tell him you left me though.
Praying hands to the Father, oh, way too good to be bothered, oh, living life with no stress, yes, every minute's my best, yes, feel like I'm winning the lottery, buying my mama a house is harder than pottery, winning it just like I oughta be, things looking up, I'm living on the bright side, looking for that good life, everything is alright.